Nearly 25%, or 1 out of every 4 ANC and EFF supporters, are now desperate to flee South Africa and seek refuge in another country. Astonishingly, most of them are so desperate that they would be willing to accept refuge in Donald Trump's America, a country whose politics and people their own leaders routinely condemn in the harshest of terms. Stay tuned, because in today's video we are going to highlight the implications of the latest data, indicating that more and more black South Africans are willing to flee this country, significantly more than white people are willing to flee this country altogether, to go live under those very white governments that their own leaders denounce as far-right and white supremacist. You see, over the past 3 months, nearly 250,000 illegal immigrants have already fled South Africa. This follows large-scale anti-immigrant protests by organizations representing black South African nationalists, such as Operation Dudula and March for March. The idea is that anti-immigration sentiment in this country reached an absolute boiling point, and an honest assessment of the realities underlying this reveals why this is so. Just last week, we released a report on the latest unemployment figures here on this channel, in which we highlighted that South Africa now has the highest black youth unemployment in the entire world, and that more than 8 out of every 10 young black people who now enter the job market have virtually no chance of ever finding a job in their entire lives. Yet, through all of this, 2 of the 3 large Pan-Africanist parties, or the ANC and its daughter parties in this country, the ANC and the EFF, have consistently condemned this nationalist anti-immigrant sentiment on the part of black South Africans, with our own president, Cyril Ramaphosa, recently coming out and saying that he is ashamed of the growing anti-immigrant sentiment among his fellow South Africans, especially among young people. And now that he is approaching his late 40s, the once firebrand leader of the EFF, Julius Malema, also seems to have lost touch with the youth of this country. He is also echoing Ramaphosa in condemning the anti-immigrant sentiment of the majority of young black South Africans as what he describes as a source of shame, and something black South Africans now need to apologize for, the same way he wants white South Africans to apologize for apartheid. But Malema goes even a step further than just condemning anyone who desires to actually protect South Africa's northern border. He has even repeatedly claimed that all national borders across the entire African continent needs to be completely abolished.
It is possible to create visa-free movement across the continent. It is possible to create universities that lead the world into science and medicine. It is possible to create a borderless Africa like Africa was before the Berlin Conference. What is required is political courage. There is no room for anyone who wants to hate Africans. There is no room for black-on-black violence. Africa must stand up and say, we are one, and will never listen to the voice of ignorant people who don't know where we come from.
These strong condemnations of ethno-nationalism on the part of black tribes that are native to South Africa today will most certainly haunt both the ANC and the EFF in the upcoming election that is now just over 2 months away. And undoubtedly, in every election after that, the ANC and the EFF will continue to decline in their vote share precisely because they are going against what the majority of black people in this country see as the most important issue in politics today. This is because the latest polls indicate that over 80% of South Africans want stricter border controls, with a full 42% even saying they want to end all immigration to South Africa. Moreover, 73% of South Africans now report having little to zero trust in any foreign nationals. It is clear as daylight that the vast majority of black people in this country, especially the young black people, are not only committed to the political ideal of a closed border with no African immigrants from other African countries, but also to the mass deportations of these illegal immigrants. The one ANC offshoot party which seems to be breaking with this particular brand of Pan-Africanist ideology is of course the MK party. And this is only because its voter base largely consists of Zulu nationalists in KwaZulu-Natal. It is very well known that the Zulus are by far the most ethno-nationalist of all black tribes in South Africa. And they also feature predominantly in the leadership of organizations such as Operation Dudula and March for March. Despite being openly condemned by the ANC, the EFF and even the Democratic Alliance, 3 of the 4 major political parties in this country, the impact of these ethno-nationalist activists of these civic organizations is evident in that 250,000 African immigrants, primarily from Zimbabwe, Malawi, Nigeria and Mozambique, have left the country over just the past 4 months due to being afraid of the violence that is being committed against them. This amounts to the equivalent of the entire population of a small city such as Germiston or Boksburg, completely gone in a matter of a few weeks. But a shocking new poll released this week reveals that black foreigners aren't the only ones desperate to flee this country. A significant portion of black South Africans, especially EFF and ANC supporters, now also want to flee the country themselves. According to a recent poll conducted by the Common Sense in conjunction with the Social Research Foundation, black South Africans are far more likely to want to take up refugee status in the United States of America than white South Africans if they were ever given the opportunity. The poll conducted among registered voters found that 20% of all black South Africans would want to flee South Africa and take up refugee status in the US if this were ever offered to them, compared to just 7% of white South Africans who it is actually being offered to. Among black EFF supporters, that figure is even higher, with an astonishing 25% saying they would definitely take up refugee status in the United States, with 21% of ANC supporters reportedly also either eager to take up or refugee status or at least willing to consider refugee status in the United States. Now, when considering these figures, it is of vital importance to keep in mind that although the United States is certainly still a land of immense economic opportunity and wealth, it is currently not a well-loved country by supporters of the EFF or the ANC by any stretch of the imagination. The American people, or at least the majority of the American people, are often openly described as too racist or too conservative for the liking of black South Africans. What this means is that if the ANC or EFF supporters were to be offered refugee status in a more left-wing but wealthy Western European country, they would be far more likely to move there than they would to move to the United States, which they see the majority of voters as being racist, which is known for maintaining free market principles as well, directly at odds with the ideology that the ANC in South Africa has espoused in this country since 1994. In fact, an argument could be made that if black South Africans were to be given the option of moving to any rich, white, first world country, America would be the very last of these which they would ever pick. But if a quarter of ANC and EFF voters now say they would even take up refugee status in this, what they call the racist United States, this means that they are absolutely desperate to join the hundreds of thousands of other African immigrants who recently left this country. This is an absolute testimony to the true extent to which the empty promise of the so-called Rainbow Nation have absolutely failed not only black South Africans, but all South Africans, all the different nations that make up this country. And their hopelessness now shows not only in the polls, but in the behavior of young black people who are now having fewer and fewer children every single year. You see, according to shocking new data recently released by Stats SA, South Africa's total fertility rate declined from 2.8 children per woman in 2008 to just 2.1 in 2026, meaning that the overall birth rate in this country is now below the population replacement rate for the very first time ever. The reality is that as the black birth rate absolutely plummets in this country, and as young black people increasingly look for opportunities abroad, while those who stay here forsake the EFF and the ANC for a party like the MK, the former two increasingly take pro-immigration stances in part because they now need to import new voters from other African countries to keep the communist dream alive, and this serves in part to explain why they may be trying to cling to their highly unpopular Pan-Africanist immigration policy for dear life. These are the type of political and demographic analysis that you will only find on this channel. No other outlet out there does what we do precisely because we have a highly qualified team dedicated to bringing you the relevant data that no one else does. By simply watching our videos, you are already contributing to our cause, but in order to keep producing videos of this quality every single day, and in order to keep paying our staff salaries to change the hearts and minds of our people, you can take your support to the next level by just following the easy steps on the banner below and become a patron of the Willem Petzer Group today. Ultimately, if a quarter of the ANC and the EFF supporters now openly admit they would be willing to flee to a majority white country with a government their own leaders condemn as far-right and racist, this can only point to one single thing. South Africa is on the verge of experiencing radical change, and the future of the peoples and nations living in South Africa will undoubtedly look radically different than what we had become accustomed to over the past 3 decades under ANC rule. On this channel, we will continue to do everything in our power to help you understand this as our viewers and navigate the political landscape of this country, whatever may come. So if you haven't yet, check out our recent video about how the rising youth unemployment in this country is a ticking time bomb. We believe you will benefit a lot from watching that video by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right here. Thank you for tuning in and watching today's video right up until the end. Thank you for the gift of your time. Goodbye and God bless.